Welcome to Midlands Today with Suzanne Verdi and Nick Owen.
The headlines tonight.
Emotions run high as parents, teachers and pupils make a last attempt to halt school closures in a citywide shake-up. Welcome to Wednesday's Midlands Today from the BBC. Tonight, has it all been in vain for protesters battling to save a city's schools?
For months, campaigners have taken to the streets to save schools in Stoke-on-Trent threatened by a citywide shake-up.
Well, today was D-Day, time to find out whether all those vocal protests have fallen on deaf ears. Our reporter Liz Copper is live in Stoke right now. So what's the latest, Liz?
Well, the meeting to decide the future of these schools is actually still going on as we speak. What we expect to happen is that formal closure notices will be issued, but that won't mark the end of the campaigning. Raising their voices in one last-ditch protest.
There is still chance for the government to step in and stop the worst decision this council could ever make in closing the best secondary school this city has got.
We've got to save it for the sake of our children.
How do you deal with it, Danny? What do you think?
At Trentham High School, lessons continue as usual. But these pupils are at the centre of a fierce political battle, a clash over their classrooms.
I think as a school we're quite sad and quite angry with the plan. Over the past few years, Trentham's come a long way.
I think all children in all the different schools around Stoke-on-Trent are happy where they are. They feel comfortable, they know everybody. It's like one big family in one school.
And there are schools which are a lot worse than us, which aren't going to get shut down, which just doesn't really make a lot of sense.
The plans are part of a £250 million reorganisation of education across the city. The number of high schools will be cut from 17 to 13. The council says it wants to raise pupils' aspirations and attainment.
We've just moved from the 146th worst area to the 141st worst area. We're still way behind where we should be in educational attainment. The city has a duty to address a whole city option to improve the standards here in Stoke-on-Trent.
Tonight's protests are unlikely to be the last. This fight could yet end up being settled in court. Well, those were the scenes just a short time ago outside the Civic Centre here in Stoke. One of the parents who's been in that meeting, who's just popped out to give us the latest, is Julian Teed. What's the mood like in the meeting at the moment?
The mood of the meeting, all the parents and residents of the Handford and Trentham community are in there rooting that common sense will prevail and that our council will keep the best school in this city, the best secondary school, open.
You are determined to see this to the bitter end, including court action. Won't that just be costly and ultimately futile, though?
It will not be futile. We are prepared to fight to the bitter end to save this school. It's the best school in our community. We will take it to the courts, the ombudsman, the school's adjudicator. They are making the wrong decision in that building, and we will fight to the end. I can promise you that.
You say it's the best school. Looking at the GCSE results that were announced last week, Trentham actually, if put in the context of other schools in Staffordshire, it would actually have come at the bottom of the Staffordshire League table.
When we're comparing it to Stoke-on-Trent, with GCSEs with English and Maths, 57%. The national average is 47%, and the Stoke-on-Trent average is 36%. We are a city of Stoke-on-Trent, not Staffordshire. We compare with other Stoke schools.
OK, thank you very much indeed for coming out to the meeting to join us this evening. And obviously, emotions running very high here, and we'll be following this story over the coming months on Midlands Today. For the time being, though, it's back to you.
Liz Copper, thanks very much indeed.